Great. But I've seen that, in certain companies, when you got your parent company outside India, right? In this case, in our case, I believe it is China, right? So head office in China. Right? It is sometimes difficult to get the right support. How that journey has been, getting support from China. I'm sure you're calling for quotations from China also. There would be a lot of teams changing in China also. You'll be one person here. How that interaction have been with you?
I will basically divide this into two parts: sales, projects, and after service. And I will also answer this from an investor point of view, not from a FAMSUN representative point of view. Okay. An investor basically looks at sales. He wants to buy him some new machinery. So that is where making quotations, talking to him, giving him the new technology, and explaining what strengths you have. This is what matters. And all this has to be done quickly, understanding his investment patterns. Quotations are done in the head office in China, and we have specific people to do it. As an employee, whoever comes into FAMSUN as an employee, we need to understand our strengths, people behind us, and then use them to serve your positions, to make the right decisions in the Indian market. So once you understand your organization, your people, I'm sure it will be a very smooth road for you. So talking about the sales, there are effective people. We have different departments: quotation department, a design department. These two departments work hand in hand. The design departments help us to make proper flow charts. Right. The flow charts are first clarified, whether it is silos or animal feed mill or even the oil sector. We make flow charts first.
Right.
Flow charts are first discussed with customer in detail, and once we have an approval, we go ahead for the quotation.
Okay.
So quotations are done in detail. We've even improved the way we make quotations as compared to before. Now our quotations are more detailed.
Okay.
And after that, it comes to projects and service. Even in projects and service, we have our Chinese experts who have stayed in India. They've got working visas. They've stayed in India. They transfer knowledge from the head office to our Indian teams here. Even new joinees, they are guided, they are helped, they are taken to the site, taught there well. And these are the people. We have the experts in projects and service who impart knowledge to our Indian team. And Indian team is also good enough, talented. They've picked up very quickly. Wow. And now they are independent. They're handling everything.
Chinese products in India generally been perceived as something which is not top quality. Generally, Indian perception has been that European products, American products, those machineries are better. How did you break through this mindset? How did you break through this psychology in your industry?
It's very important to believe in your company and in the products. Yes, there are different kinds of markets in China as well. Not just in China, world over, for different markets, there are different grades. When you come back to China, talking about FAMSUN, we started in 1967 and started off with hammer mill as our first machine. Since then, the company has grown. It was invested in R&D. It's invested in people outside the Chinese market and even in the Chinese market. The performance of machines are really good. So my belief, my faith in the machines, and after the machines are in place in the factory, the way it used to run and the way people back me up, the technology behind it, all this has really given me more confidence and faith. So this is being transformed to my customers, to the people I talk to.
So whenever somebody is asking you that your company is from China and is the product would be equivalent or is it better than what I'm getting from Europe or what I'm getting from Indian manufacturers, how do you answer it?
With all due respect to the manufacturers inside India, outside India, I would rather not compare unless and until it is asked in detail. I would rather not compare. I would only stick on to the products that we have in our portfolio, the strengths and USPs of the products of our company. So this is where my focus will be more into. Like I told, hammer mill was our first machine for FAMSUN. So animal feed machinery has been our bread and butter. And since the company's inception, research and development persistently on the products, this is our biggest USP. And because of this R&D, even till today, our machines are performing very well. And small misconceptions like thickness or service, this has been improved gradually. The bottom line, or to answer it in a single line, I see the research and development, the development that FAMSUN is put into the machines and the results that we've obtained in the factories, this is the answer to it.
The second part to this question is, there is another stigma which Indian consumer have, and that is service. Because it would be really difficult for any company to provide, and especially the companies outside India. Because even if you train people here in India, would they be trained well enough to service them? That would be first question coming in their mind. How do you answer these questions to the Indian consumer when you're meeting them, especially when they're talking about how you're going to provide good service to the product which you're selling to us?
This really needs an investment. You can't just talk about service without people, this is not like other industries where you can give online support. You really need to have people putting their hands into the machines and solving problems. So this is the kind of industry that we are. We've taken in people, and when we take in people, we make sure that people have good prior experience related to the industry. Plus, we have important people, like I said, domain experts inside FAMSUN, who are well versed with our machines, technology, and what is happening in the market. So we have this knowledge imparted to our service engineers. And when they go to the factories, we train them on the machines in the factories. They've been confident. We've chosen good people, and they're really doing well. They've understood the machines, they've understood the technology behind it, variations in formulations, they've been able to adapt and suggest good suggestions to customers as well. I will add on to this. Spare parts, availability of spare parts is also a biggest question of food. Now slowly we've started investing in this. We've had a pretty simple go where we stock essential spares. And this is at Hyderabad, right close to our office at Hyderabad. So we stock the essential spares. And for the other spare parts, our service engineer, whenever he goes to the customer, he makes sure he checks what is the available spare parts, what is required in the future, and what is the running life. He gives a complete analysis to the customers.
Wonderful. If I may ask you, what is the turnaround time for any service engineer if any problem happens in the setup or in the machine? What approximately turnaround time is?
What we have done is, we have technology, we have WhatsApp groups right now. So this is an initiative that we took. As soon as the order is accounted into FAMSUN, we create a WhatsApp group with the customer, which helps us to discuss with the customer right from the stage when the machinery is being manufactured, our shipping schedule. We share everything on this WhatsApp group. We even involve customers, service engineers on this.
Right.
So WhatsApp group is the first point of contact. If there's a problem, customer will post it on the group, and first thing that we do is immediately respond in the group. And this response is quicker. And if there's a need, I would say the turnaround time is probably 1 day. We are located at Hyderabad. Wow. If there are places which can be reached in about few hours, we are there in few hours. Hyderabad, close by surrounding places, Vijayawada, we are there in about 6 to 7 hours. Otherwise, maximum 1 day.
So if there's a problem Far East, maybe in Guwahati or maybe even further than that, how much maximum time your service team will take to reach that place?
Our office is at Hyderabad, and most of the service engineers are at different site locations. So even if they are at Hyderabad, I would say farthest place, let's say Guwahati, I think 1 day, maximum 1 day. Kolkata we've reached on the same day or maximum the next day. Down south, Erode, we've reached the next day, and it's been good. I would say the maximum is 1 day, practically.
That is 24 hours?
24 hours.
Wonderful. Great. Arun, this is a general question which I see commonly among the people who are trying to set up a new plant, especially about the extruder. What is the difference between a single screw extruder and a double screw extruder?
It's a very common question, especially in the floating fish feed industry. People are new to the industry or setting up plants. They are confused between a single screw extruder and a twin screw extruder.
Okay.
Or the question is, why should we use a twin screw extruder? Okay. And what are the uses? Keep it very simple, especially for the farmers. I would say a single screw extruder is the most simplest extruder, and it satisfies the Indian formulation requirements. And if your feed sizes are anywhere between 1.2 mm smallest to maximum can go up to 3, 4. There's no limitation on the maximum feed size. Okay. So the limitation is only on the minimum feed size, the smallest feed size. So if your smallest feed size is 1.2 mm, even 1 mm rather, then you can easily go in for a single screw extruder. But if your market requirement and your feed size requirement is less than 1.2 mm, let's say like, 0.8 mm, 0.6 mm, 1 mm consistently,
Okay.
then it is suggested to go for a twin screw extruder.
Okay.
This is one point.
Okay.
Second point, if your formulations are very tough, you have a lot of fiber content, more oil content, more fat content, some special formulations for fishes like sea bass or different species. In such cases, you might need a twin screw extruder. So these are the major limiting factors between single screw and twin screw. I think the biggest factor is the feed size. I think it's simple and clear.
We are more or less at the end of the session now. I want to understand your point of view about the Indian feed mill industry, especially silo industry. Where the industry is moving currently? Where do you see the industry moving in future?
Talking about the poultry industry, I think this is more organized as compared to other industries. More focus on the raw material side, on the grains would help. Cattle feed industry, people are gaining more knowledge about the use of feed as compared to before. So it's improving.
Okay.
Fish feed mainly depends on the domestic consumption.
Right.
Again, if the raw material prices can be controlled, it's good. Shrimp depends on the export market. We don't really have a big say on that. So just needs time, about 2 to 3 years.
And
Ethanol industry has been catching up. So grain-based ethanol factories are coming up now. This is also backed up by government schemes. So this is one sector that is also improving, which needs a lot of grain storage silos and grain milling equipment. That is hammer mills, cleaners and hammer mills.
I believe a lot of government push is there in ethanol industry. And government is giving a lot of subsidies, and probably it is good for milling as well as for silos. I believe that is two things which FAMSUN is also pushing in India. So how do you see it as a game changer? Where do you see, which section do you see kind of taking the lead in ethanol?
FAMSUN point of view, I think the use of silos, grain storage silos, because storing grains for a longer period of time, this becomes a big challenge. Availability of grain becomes a big challenge. So storing them for your own production plants is the most important. So having bigger storage capacities is more important without wastage. And then when it comes to cleaning, again, we have the cleaning section and the milling section, the hammer mills. So these are the products where we pitch into the ethanol industry. So again, the usage of these two products with ethanol industry coming in is a big game changer for the machinery manufacturers. Plus, we also believe in indigenization. So if this can happen, I think we have a long way.
This is my last question to you, Arun. It's been around 15 years plus for FAMSUN in India. Where do you see how FAMSUN is going to kind of cover the path in next 3 years, 5 years? That is one point I want to understand. How FAMSUN is moving ahead in India. What are FAMSUN's plans for Indian market? That is one. And you have been at the leadership position in FAMSUN for quite some time already. How are you going to drive it in this journey?
The future is actually very good. The market is good, supportive. Management and the head office has a lot of faith in the country and also the team in India. And the team is also doing very well. Every one of us, I think, is talented. They're doing the duty perfectly. So it's good. Now, the need of the hour is indigenization. We have to indigenize a few equipment here, and we are in the path of that. Probably we will be opening more offices in India, probably another 2 or 3, along with this office that we already have at Hyderabad, and increase the employee strength. Now we are a team size of about 25 people. Probably this will go on to 100 plus in the coming years, 3 to 5 years maximum.
25 is only the sales team? Is the service team separate? It's like combined?
It's combined.
Okay.
Sales, service, projects,
Right.
and design as well,
Okay.
including the HR and finance.
Right.
So 100 plus is also going to be a combination of all the departments put together. This is in the span of 3 to 5 years. So at least 3 different offices at 3 different locations where we get more closer to the customers.
Wonderful.
Plus increase the team size from 25 to 100 plus. So this is the vision in the future, and indigenize some of our manufacturing into India.
I'm sure you're not allowed to disclose the kind of revenue FAMSUN is generating, but whatever the value today is, where do you see in multiplication or in percentages, if you can say, maybe after 5 years? How many times will it grow in next 5 years? What do you suggest?
For the turnover that we're doing right now, in the span of 3 to 5 years, with the plans that we've already chalked out, if we are able to put them into action, at least 3 to 4 times of what we're doing right now. Considering the faith that customer has got in us, in FAMSUN, and yes, 3 to 4 times at least.
Great, Arun. It was fantastic talking to you. You have given us so many insights. I'm sure that the audience are going to take the pointers from your whatever you have discussed with me. I'm sure they are going to be very nice insights for them, especially people who are trying to enter into the industry or trying to set up new plans. I really wish you very good luck, and I really wish FAMSUN very good luck. I'm sure that FAMSUN is going to be great in next 3 to 5 years, as you suggested. Any parting words you want to say?
I would definitely like to thank everybody involved having brought me to this moment, especially the management, which has a lot of faith in the Indian team, a lot of faith in me, and every one of our customer who has trusted it so far, and of course to our competitors and everybody. It's a thank you. I just want to express my gratitude to everybody. Thank you all.